Good day everyone, I'm Marjorie Valino, and today I will be discussing about the collaborative and organizational skills. But first, let's define this African proverb, which is, if you want to go quickly, go alone, and if you want to go far, go together, which only means when you work alone on your own, or you have the luxury of not having to wait for anyone or needing anyone's approval to get things done. So you are able to work faster. And if you want to go far, go together. This applies that for one to make a real advancements, working with others is a fundamental necessity, and for that to transpire smoothly, one must learn and understand themselves, and by extension, the roles they're playing. At least no one will sabotage their own progress. This simply means is teamwork. Teamwork makes the task easier and faster. And also the possibilities and ideas are endless when you are having a teamwork. Okay, let's move to collaborative skills. Before we discuss the collaborative skills, let's define first the word collaboration. Collaboration is a partnership, a union, the act of producing or making something together. Collaboration can take place between two or more people, strangers, relatives, best friends, someone you are working with, colleagues, your superiors, students, etc. To collaborate is to commit the possibility of producing an outcome greater than one that can be developed. So, first in the collaborative skills is the teaching, developing, and using norms of collaboration. As an aspiring educator in the future collaboration, it is important between your colleagues and most especially sa students. Collaboration skills are about working well with others and achieving a common goal. It's more than just finishing a project with a group of people, though. It also means building relationships with your team, resolving conflicts, and creating a work environment na everyone feels included and respected. Next is the conflict resolution or the mediation skills. So, dito sa conflict resolution, dito na papasok yung mga problem-solving skills mo to overcome the obstacles or any circumstances that you are facing. Communication with other person or parties involved, active listening skills, kasi merong iba na nakikinig nga sa mga sinasabi mo, pero hindi naman iintindihan nila yung ini-explain. Next is the mediation skill. Mediation skill is a structured interactive process wherein impartial third party neutrally assists disputing parties in resolving conflict through the use of specialized communication and negotiation techniques. All participants in mediation are encouraged to actively participate in the process. We as a future teacher, we must be their guidance officer pag may hindi pagkakaunawaan between sa dalawang students mo, we have to make way para magkaayos sila at magkaintindihan. Yun lang po yan. Next is using protocols or other strategies. Ang protocols, ini-standardize niya yung essential processes for conversations about work and classroom. There are a lot of varieties being used by schools. Yung mga protocols para ma-analyze yung students' work. Maganda example na dito yung mga rubrics sa mga activities na sineset natin para may basis tayo and fairness when it comes sa grading ng mga estudyante. And also yung, for example, performance. We are setting criteria for judging, di ba? And also, we set protocols to help us address the challenges we face in our daily work para maayos natin or ma-solve natin yung mga problems together. Next is the modeling or valuing diverse opinion. So, inside the classroom environment, lahat ng estudyante is different with each other. Lahat sila may different opinion or sagot sa mga question. Dito sa skill na to, you have to learn to accept their differences and make sure give everyone a chance to express their opinions para na rin ma-avoid yung biasness na tinatawag, and most importantly, to learn something new from them also. Diba? Vice versa kayo nagkakaroon ng learnings. Next is the matching language to the situation. This is not only limited to verbal communication. It may also be a non-verbal gesture. Diba? When you are using verbal communication, kailangan we use appropriate words and language para magkaintindihan tayo ng kinakausap natin. And also, yung gesture, para lang magkaintindihan. Ganun. We know that. And next is sharing responsibility and leadership. This only means sharing of work and responsibilities. Like sa work ko, in my own experience, before the school year starts, principals will give the principal will give the teachers their own coordinatorship sa school. For example, si teacher A, naka-assign siya sa coordinatorship ng reading and language. And then si teacher B naman is sa sports. So sa buong school year na yon, lahat ng events, ng activities, and reports regarding sa mga coordinatorship na yon is sila yung responsible. Next is holding yourself accountable to the group's goals outcome. Dito na papasok yung patience, perseverance, decision making, interpersonal communication, and stress management mo. So, dito makikita yung kung gaano ka consistent sa work mo and kung gaano mo kagusto na ma-achieve yung goal ng inyong group. Next, let's move on to organizational skills. Before we discuss this organizational skills, what is organizational skills muna? So, organizational skills are the abilities to manage the time efficiently, ma-prioritize yung mga task, isa-set yung goals, develop system para mas maging achievable or successful yung na-set na goals. And also, good organizational skills can juggle multiple responsibilities simultaneously and stay focused on deadlines and can handle complex projects efficiently. So, first is the facilitating a meeting. As a future educator, dapat marunong tayo mag-facilitate ng meeting. Before a meeting is set, dapat may concrete agenda na tayong pag-uusapan and dapat may solution ka ng isa-suggest concerning whatever will be discussed in that meeting. Kukunin mo na lang yung mga opinions nila, pagsasama-samahin nyo to betterment the decision or the solution na mapag-uusapan dun sa meeting. Next is documentation na meeting. Kailangan dito marunong kang mag-take ng minutes of the meetings, yung mga mahalagang yung mga importanteng pinag-usapan dun sa meeting, and also the photography, the photo. Kasi para hindi nakakalimutan, basing on my own experience of work, mahalaga yung mga pictures na yan para hindi na kakalimutan at may nababalikan. And also proof na din na nag-meeting kayo. Next is moving a group to task completion. This only ensures that the students or your colleagues is on track with their assigned tasks para matapos yung work efficiently and successfully. Next is knowing the resources and how to access resources. This simply means knowing the resources. Dapat alam mo kung ano yung mga resources mo. Ano yung mga kailangan mo, and dapat may capability ka to use it or that may access ka doon. For example, yung mga students, inassign na ng teacher na mag-research about a topic. So, dapat alam nila if saan sila kukuha ng reliable information, saan silang pwedeng makakuha, and paano dapat nila gamitin yung information na yun, nakuha na nila properly. Dapat alam nilang i-differentiate yung reliable sa fake news. Yun. Next is the delegating responsibility to group members. This simply means yung pagdi-divide ng responsibility for example, yung principal sa school, hindi naman niya kaya lahat i-monitor yun everyday. Syempre, maraming work yun eh. So, ang gagawin niya, i-delegate niya yung isang task sa isang teacher, and the other one is bibigay din naman niya sa isang teacher para sabay-sabay na nagwo-work lahat and matatapos yon ng sabay-sabay. That's how it is. For example, may event sa school. Si Teacher A, siya yung sinabihan ni principal na bahala sa documentation. Si Teacher B sa technical, siya bahala sa mga speakers, sa mga backgrounds, sa stage design. Si Teacher C naman, kung sino yung mga bisita. Si Teacher D naman, sa pagkain and sa program. Ganon. Yun lang po. Thank you.